Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Cambly Tutor Spotlight Series, where we talk to some of the best Cambly tutors and hear their stories. I'm Lynn, and today we're talking to Kimmer. Hi, Kimmer.
Hi, Lynn.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you as well, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Thank you for joining me. Guess what? A little bird told me it's your 5th-year anniversary at Cambly today.
Yeah, I can't believe
That's
it.
awesome. Time flies when you're having fun. Does it feel like 5 years?
No, it doesn't. It feels like I just started Cambly a few months ago.
Oh my gosh. Well, 5 years, it's a long time. So you've probably seen a lot of changes here, right?
I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell me what you were doing before you joined Cambly. What's your story?
Okay, so before I joined Cambly, I worked for a manufacturing company. They manufactured windows and doors, and this company was based in Jiangsu province in China. I really wanted to enjoy life a bit more
Mm,
because my working schedule was so tight that I didn't really have much time to do anything else but work.
right.
So, one of the things I researched was how I could support myself while living in another country. And one of the things that popped up was teaching English online. I was able to find a job with another company teaching English online.
Mhm.
And then after being with that company for I think about 2 years, I found Cambly and I thought, oh, this is interesting. This company seems very nice. And I've read all these good reviews about this company. You know what? Let me apply. Let's see what happens. So I applied, and a few weeks later, I got an email saying that I got the job. So
Fantastic.
yeah, that's my story.
Is Cambly a lot different than the other company you worked for? Is the philosophy different or the teaching style different?
Yes, in many ways. Cambly is different, but in a good way.
Hmm.
The other company I worked for was very nice, and they had a lot of good things going for them. But when it comes to the teaching style, they kind of directed and micromanaged every single thing.
Hmm.
And so you weren't really in control of anything, really.
Yeah.
You were in control of your schedule. You were, but to a certain extent, because they still stipulated like the hours that you could choose from.
Mhm.
And another thing that I love about Cambly is that you can have that connection with a student more than once.
Mm.
Because with the other company that I worked for, you could meet one, like a specific person today, and may never see them again.
Oh,
And you could have this great connection with them,
yeah.
and then, okay, bye. But with Cambly, it's not that. It's
Yeah.
not that at all. You form these bonds with people that live halfway across the world. And it is such a beautiful thing to see someone, you know, change their life
Mhm.
through their language learning
Mhm.
and and achieve the goals that they set before themselves and succeed. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's really beautifully said too. And I think, the Cambly community, we call each other the Cambly family, but honestly, the students are our family too. The students really become sort of an extension of our Cambly family. I can't imagine. I really can't imagine my life without the students that I've met over the years that I've had for so long. They're just part of my day. They're part of my life. They're part of my family.
Yes, so true. And yeah, I feel like it's something that keeps you going as a tutor. These beautiful relationships that you have with these students, it really, really does uplift your spirit. Oh, I'm going to talk to this student today. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you miss them. You miss them when you don't see them or they're traveling or whatever. You can't wait to see the photos from their vacation, whatever it is. They're
Yeah.
just such a strong part of our lives now that I think that's probably one of the best perks about being a Cambly tutor, just the relationships. So were you nervous for your first Cambly class? How did it go? Was it a positive thing or was it sort of a stressful experience?
That first class, even though I was extremely nervous, it was a good thing because I realized how simple it was, how much pressure I was putting on myself
Right.
it wasn't really that necessary. You know, I put too much pressure on myself. And after that session had ended, I remember just closing the page and just breathing a sigh of relief and thinking, oh, that was cool. I need to do that again. So, yeah, so it was a fantastic experience.
So I want to talk about something that might be a little sensitive to some tutors. Let's talk ratings because I think we all kind of have a love-hate relationship with ratings. So I want to get your take on them. I want to know your philosophy about ratings.
That's a very good question. I think a rating is not the end all be all and may not accurately reflect a tutor completely, like not their complete teaching style. There are times when we might be having a bad day and we may not be as high spirited as we
Yeah.
normally are.
Mhm.
And so, if you meet a student and you may not have that zest for life and you come off a bit dull, the student may rate you because of what was reflected during that session. So it doesn't mean that that person is a poor tutor or a bad tutor. And we can see how Cambly is doing quite a lot to ensure that tutors receive a fair rating.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you have a connection issue and the student says, I'm not going to rate you very well, because Cambly, immediately crosses those kinds of ratings out.
Yeah. What is your opinion of, asking the student after a session, how did you enjoy class today? Is there anything that you found really productive? Is there something that you weren't crazy about? Are you a fan of that? I think that's totally okay to ask the student.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I feel like there are certain students that you would trust to give you a very honest answer.
Yeah.
Some students may shy away from being very direct,
Yeah.
but there are some students that will say, hey, next time you need to smile more, or next time perhaps we could look at a certain topic that interests me more, or and little things like that really really help, because I mean, in order for us to improve, we have to be humble.
Yeah.
And so asking a student
Yeah.
or asking I think the students are the best ones to ask because they're the ones that actually have to deal with us. So
Some tutors, I think they're like, oh, my students all say they love me and that they enjoy the class, but my rating isn't perfect. So, where's that coming from? Where are these bad ratings coming from? And I think you made a really good point. Some students, maybe their culture, maybe it's through their culture, or maybe it's just the individual student. They don't feel comfortable being direct and saying those things. So, at least in my opinion, a tutor rating, like my rating, I wasn't always happy with my rating, and it would directly affect me. I was sad. I was depressed. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then I just had to get into this mindset of, okay, if my rating isn't what I want it to be the way that I'm teaching now, maybe I need to redefine my teaching and do it differently. So, you've been here a while. So has your teaching style changed over the years to accommodate students? Is that why your rating is so good? Because hello, Miss 5 stars, your rating is fantastic. So have you changed over the years?
I believe that I have changed, and I believe that my teaching style has evolved as well. And one thing I did before I started working, I wrote down all the things that I thought would make a great tutor. So, what would I want in a tutor if I were to have a tutor? Oh, I would want someone that would be, very positive, right? And I want someone that would correct my mistakes. And I would also want someone that would be supportive and not, you know, discourage me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are just a handful of the things, but while teaching certain students, you kind of get the sense of what would work for them. So then you have these core principles, you have these, like, this main idea of what a tutor is supposed to be. And then you meet a student that might be shy. So you adapt it to this shy person. And then you have a student that is very vivacious. And so you adapt to that person as well, but you still hold on to these key principles.
Yeah.
And so it really does work. It really works. I have to say, I have never really been bothered by a rating.
Okay, good.
A rating doesn't usually change my day. Let's say I am at 4. There was once I was at 4.93,
Mhm.
and then I think the following week I saw that I was 4.92, and I wondered, well, how did that happen?
Mhm.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm just going to continue to work hard. I'm just going to continue to do the best that I can. And I try not to let a rating get me down because it doesn't reflect on the type of person that I am. If I'm doing my best
Mhm.
and I'm looking for little ways in which I can improve, things will only get better.
Yeah, yeah. I think that that's really good advice. Um, it can be hard for some people. I think some tutors take it harder than others. But that's really good advice that it doesn't really define who you are, and it might be just a direct experience with that particular session, not your teaching ability, not your overall teaching skill, but maybe that particular session didn't go very well, or maybe there were extenuating circumstances, who knows? But I think it's also important. I think it's important for teachers to be humble, as you said, because that helps us grow, helps us become better, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, very
100%.
good. So, Kimmer, you've been here a long time, and I'd love to get your advice, maybe to new tutors, or maybe prospective tutors, or maybe people have been tutoring for a long time. What do you think is the best advice to be successful here as an online tutor?
Okay. Well, I think some of the best advice would be to be positive. Yeah. If you have a positive disposition, then despite the challenges that come your way, you will be successful. You will surmount them.
Mhm.
If you're positive, you will think of ways that you can enhance the lives of your students through your teaching. If you are positive, then if you may not have the best of experiences with certain students, that's okay. It's not going to affect your next class. You're going to be fine. Smile, be happy, and your enthusiasm will rub off on your student.
Yeah.
So I would say just be positive, have fun, and do the best that you can.
Oh, that's fantastic. You have a way with words. I want to really thank you so much for today. You gave great advice. You gave me things that I hadn't really thought of before. So I really want to thank you for sharing all of that with all of us today. So thank you so much, Kimmer. I really had fun talking to you.
I had a blast talking with you as well.
Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for watching the Cambly Tutor Spotlight. If you have an interesting Cambly story, let us know. You can send us a message or leave us a comment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.